Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Huh.
Yeah, thank you all once again. So the topic is research publications, things to be known. So research publication is playing a major role nowadays. And also uh, in this lecture, we will be knowing about the types of research articles and how will be the structure of research article and what is the difference between a thesis and articles and what is plagiarism and what is ethics and what are the permission needed and what are the permission issues will be arising when you are copying a figure or content from the different publishers and what are the indexing databases available like Web of Science, Scopus and Google Scholar and how these are playing a major role in elevating your research works and how to calculate the H index. So these are the contents which will be seen in this lecture. So research publication, as everybody knows, research publication is a scientific report which may consist of experimental work or the work might have been done by the previous researchers and the work may be of any new method or work may be of any novel works. Okay. So that scientific report is called as research publication. Research publication is a scientific report. So while you are ready to publish your work, what are the things you should do and what are the things you should not do? So what are the things you should not do? So you should not publish outdated work. Okay. So what is outdated work? You should have done proper literature review. Okay, proper literature review has to be done before carrying out any works. Okay. So upon literature review, you should identify a work which is emerging in the current scenario. Okay, so you should not consider the work which is outdated. Okay. For example, now we are highly dealing with modern manufacturing systems. Okay, modern manufacturing systems, we are using the machineries like computer CNC control, milling. So for additive manufacturing, we are using different machineries. Okay, so a lot of research works are being carried out by researchers to find out the optimization of process parameters and to study the behavior of materials, to study the metallurgical behavior of materials. So different works are being carried out. Okay, so we had earlier used the conventional manufacturing machines, conventional machines like lathe, milling. So these are conventional manufacturing machines. So we have come out from that, and now we are dealing with wire EDM. Okay, so a water jet machining process. So we are doing a lot of new machineries in our research works. Okay, and we need to find out the process parameter, and we need to find out the different mechanical properties when the material is particularly processed by the process. Okay, so you should not now you concentrate or should not take a particular machinery, what we have said like lathe, milling machine, this conventional machineries. So you should not go to find out the optimization parameter of the particular machines. Okay, so I am going to find out the optimization parameter during the milling of so and so alloy by using conventional manufacturing machines. So you should not concentrate like that work. So that is called outdated work. So, okay, so you should not concentrate on outdated work and you should not publish an outdated work. Okay, so that is first thing. Then you should not publish the duplication of other works. So lot of works might have been carried out in the by the previous researchers, and you should not copy their works. You should not repeat their experiments. Okay, so for that, the literature review will be highly useful. You should do the thorough literature review. Okay, so you if you are not doing the thorough literature review, so half of the work might have been carried out by you, but when you further go for verifying the literatures, that work might have been done by someone. Okay, so upon the previous thorough literature review, you will be able to avoid the duplication of published work. That is one thing. And also, the duplication of published work mentions you should not copy others' work. You should not copy other works, and you shouldn't publish. Should not publish. Okay, so this you should be very careful. And also, you should have correct conclusions while you are reporting your work. You should have correct conclusion. Correct conclusion means so the findings, the reasons for the correct for the variation of different parameters, and for obtaining the particular results, you should come with correct conclusions. So okay, the incorrect conclusions should not be reported to the publishers, or should not be published. Okay, so these are the three things you should primarily consider. Okay, so we often we used to discuss with a lot of researchers. So upon in the half of their PhD work, it is being found that this work has been already published. This work has been done 10 years back. Okay, so you have to do a proper literature review in order to avoid the duplication of work, in order to avoid the outdated publication work, in order to come with the incorrect conclusions. Okay, then what you should do? Okay, so as I said, you should do the review. As I said, you should do the review of the particular subject, and you should enhance your research works. You should enhance your research means, see, already, so nowadays, additive manufacturing is highly emerging. So additive manufacturing, so we have different manufacturing process, like wire arc additive manufacturing. We have border-based additive manufacturing techniques. See, your work, research works should have some enhanced results. You should have enhanced results from the published work. Okay, so you should not do the same published work, and you should do something on your publications. Okay, your research work should bring out some new findings in the already existing published work. Okay, so you should take care of that also. Okay, and you should produce the original results or original methods. Your work should be very novel works. Okay, your work should be novel. So we will see how the novel work will be with an example. Okay. So what are the types of research articles? So commonly, these are the 5 types of research articles, which is being in the research publications: research paper, review article, short communication, case studies, and methods paper. Okay, so most of the researchers, most of us, only concentrating only on the research papers and review articles. Okay, we are not touching the short communication, case studies, and methods paper. Okay, we are not doing anything on that. Okay, so either we are going for review article, or we are going for research articles. And apart from that, short communication, case studies, and method papers also can be concentrated. Okay, so research paper is a common type of manuscripts. So okay, so if you want to satisfy your criteria, so most of the researchers only targeting the research articles, So sometimes the research article may be called as the original article, or just it is called as article. This terminology will vary based on the journal where we are publishing. Okay, and see, the format of the research articles will vary from different articles, different journals. Okay, so your research article should contain thorough introduction about the technology, why you are carrying out the particular research works, and what is the novelty in your research works. So everything should should have been included in the research papers. Then methods, how this has been carried out, and what are the materials have been utilized, and what are the environmental condition under which this experiment has been carried out. So that information should have been fully given in the research papers. Then results. Okay, so by conducting the experiments, what are the results you have availed? Okay, what are the results you have availed, and from the results, what are the what you are going to interpret? What are you going to interpret, and what are you going to propose to the research community? So that thing should have been proposed in the research articles. Then, what is the review article? So review article often an eminent person in the particular field will be invited by the particular editor of the journals. Okay, the editor of the journal will do some survey, and whoever is felt as the expert in the particular field, so they will be called to submit some review articles. So review article, so the lot of say 100, more than 100 articles which have been published by the early researchers, will be collected, and summary of the research will be written as an article. So that is called research articles. So the research review article, minimum you should have 100 primary research articles. Okay, that means 100 primary research articles should have been collected to bring out or to write a review article. So short communication. Okay, so short communication. So the editor will feel that the editor should feel this work will stimulate the further research in the field. Okay, so even if you are writing some short communication means the word should be there is some limitation of words. Okay, so maybe the words may be within 4,000 words. Okay, for short communication, the total number of words may be 4,000. Okay, so upon submission of your research work, the editor should feel this will induce further research in the field by the other researchers. Okay, so that type of content you should do in the short communication. You should avoid the unnecessary figures or the basic fundamental figures. You should not write the fundamental concepts which might have been understood by others. Okay, so which might be available in the research work or might be available in the books. You should not give that much of contents in the short communication, because only 4,000 words are the limits for the short communication. Okay, you should give your correct results. What was your research works, and what are the methods you have used, and what is the output, and how you are interpreting the results, and what will be the benefit for the research community from this work. Okay, so this thing should be briefly explained in the short communication and should have been communicated to the journal. Okay, so this is about short communications. Case studies means, see, when someone is working on the medical field, so they might have spent a lot of time to bring out some results. Okay, Okay, so this case studies the case study, what it will do, it will avoid the already repeated work in the particular field. Okay, so suppose if a doctor is finding a medicine, so he might have used different chemicals to bring out a new medicine for the particular disease. Okay, but so this case studies paper will yield. So if he has tried with this much variations, and by injecting this medicine to the some living beings, so this is the effect. He has met. Okay, so by referring this, the new researcher will avoid will save the time to repeat the already done work. Okay, so this will be done in the case studies. So case studies might have been often or will be often published by doctors and the management professionals and some equipment machinery. So on these related issues, the case studies will be often submitted. And also, so some of the accidents which might have happened because of the mistakes. Okay, sometimes, so if an aircraft is getting failure during his flying, then you should this paper should have been submitted as the case studies. Okay. And methods paper. So method paper means you're developing a new method to carry out some experiments. You're developing a new method to carry out the experiments, and you're developing a new testing procedures to evaluate the parameters or any mechanical parameters or metallurgical parameters of the particular studies. Then that type of research articles will be called as methods paper. So ASME, ASTM. So often they're developing some standard or developing some test procedures. So they will be coming under methods papers. Okay. So these are the 5 types of research articles. Okay. It may be a original research article. It may be a review paper. It may be a short communication. It may be a case studies. It may be a methods paper. Okay. Then how should be a research article? What is the structure we should follow normally to write a research article? Okay, so if you look into any research article, the structure will be like this is general structure followed by any of the researchers. Okay, so it may be title, abstract, keywords, introduction, materials and methods, result and discussions, conclusion, acknowledgements, reference, and support materials. Okay, so these are the titles which will be often followed by the researchers to write the research articles. Okay, under which the supporting materials may be missing, but the acknowledgement may be missing in some of the research articles, but others, title, abstract, keywords, introduction, materials and methods, result and discussion, conclusion, references might have been presented in all the research articles in order to express, in order to elevate your research works in a correct way. So, research title. Okay, so the title plays a major role. The title should be very concise. It should be. It should readily expose the information to the researcher. Researchers. It should be very meaningful. Okay, so these are the behavior of the title. Okay, and the title should be very concise. It should be very informative. It should be very meaningful. Okay, and see, the title only will draw the attention of the researchers. Okay, so by seeing the title itself, the researcher will decide whether he should go inside or not. Okay, so primarily, whether we should go further reading or not, the title will give an idea to the researcher. Okay, so the title should be very interesting. If the title is not interesting, the researcher will not go into read the article. Why he should read the article? Why? So we will see later. Why the researcher should read your article? So we will see later. Okay. Then, for example, some titles I have been given here: experimental and numerical analysis of additive manufactured stainless steel. Okay. So it is clearly explained. Okay. He has chosen stainless steel material as the candidate material for doing his research works, and he has used the additive manufacturing as a method, to process the material, and he has used experimental work, and he had used numerical analysis procedures to validate the work. Okay, so entire thing is available in the particular title. Okay, so see, it is very attractive. It will be able to attract all the researchers. So it is focused. The title is very focused. He has said what is the material he has used, what is the manufacturing process he has used, and what is the method he has used to conduct the experiments, and what is the method he has used to validate the research. Okay, so everything is available in this title. So okay, hence it will readily attract the researchers, and it will get a lot of exposure, and it will be highly cited by the researchers. Okay, then review articles. Okay, so a systematic review and recent trends in additive manufacturing. Okay? So he has collected a lot of articles in the additive manufacturing that too recently published. And the article published in the recent technology of additive manufacturing have been collected, and he has done a systematic review, and the works have been reported. See, the title is clearly indicating what is the work has been carried out and how it has been carried out. Okay, so like this, you should name your title. Like this, you should name your title. Okay, then abstract. Okay. So abstract is the preview. Okay, so the researcher has read out the title, then the abstract is the concise abstract. You see, our abstract will be able to narrate your entire work, what you have given in the further readings. Okay, so once the researcher first see the title, if the title is interesting, next he will read the abstract. Okay, so the abstract you should write in a concise way, and it should not exceed more than 250, 100 to 250 or 300 words. It should be within that. And it should be a single paragraph. Okay, you should not have different paragraphs in the abstract. It should be a single paragraph, and in the single paragraph itself, you should mention what is the experimentation procedure you use, what is the material you use. You simply narrate, and what are the results you have obtained, and what is the conclusion you have arrived, and what is the new novelty you are proposing in your research works. Okay, so entire thing should have been put in the abstract. Okay, so I have used the titanium material, and I used the welding process to manufacture, to process the material. I have conducted experimentation. During experimentation, I have used tensile. I have characterized the tensile behavior, impact behavior, metallurgical behavior, and so I have used the commercial software to validate the experimental results, and by using the results, the research community will get so and so. Okay, so like that, you will give entire concise one paragraph in the abstract. Okay, so the abstract should be very attractive, as like it lies in the title. Okay, so it has to be carefully written. Okay, so some people are telling that writing abstract first itself is correct. Okay, so writing abstract first itself is correct. Okay, so you may write abstract first. Okay, but it should be heavily modified at the end of your paper. Okay, so initially some people, what they will write, initially they will write abstract and they will never worry about the abstract. It should not be like that. Okay, so the abstract should not be very big. It should not be a very boring one. Okay, it should not do. It should be boring to the readers. Okay, so mostly you stick between 200 to 250 words. Okay, don't, even if it less also, it is fine. Okay, but don't go beyond 250 or 300. Never go beyond 300. Okay, and it should be highly readable and understandable by the researchers. So how it should be? You should not use what we call acronyms. Okay, so the known acronyms may be used sometimes, but never use the acronym in the abstract. Okay, so don't use some micrograph have been considered for evaluation. Okay, you should not use some straight away. Okay, or you should not use TAG, thick welding process. So you should narrate what is thick there. Okay, you should never do the acronym in the abstract. Okay, so how should be the keywords? So keywords should be carefully defined, because that should only be used for indexing your papers. Okay, indexing, abstracting your papers, the keyword should be used. Okay, so keyword should be focus, and should be very specific. Okay, and as I said, the keywords also you can use the established abbreviations. Okay, this known abbreviations like TNUA. Okay, and then IUPAC. So when you naming any chemical materials chemistry, so you might have heard of IUPAC. Okay, DNA. Okay, so these are the standard acronyms, abbreviations, which are highly followed by the researchers. So these type of things can be utilized as a keywords, but you should not use acronym in the keywords. You should avoid. Okay, if it is known, it can be used. Yes, you don't use in the keywords. Keywords are very, very important. Okay, the keywords will only show or will expose your research articles to research community. How they will search? They will search with the keyword. Okay, so tungsten netcast welding, or titanium material, or zirconium material. They will check like this. Okay, so or they will check with the categorizations, scanning electron microscopy. They will check with some categorization, right? So if keyword is not properly defined, your work will not be exposed to others. So see, these are the research two research titles I have given: an experimental study of evacuator tube solar collector using supercritical carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is a title. So how we can have the keyword? So you can have keyword as solar collector. You can have solar collector as a keyword. Then you can use supercritical carbon dioxide. You can give us as a keyword. And also see, so solar, we will be mostly concentrated in the thermal radiation. So you can give solar thermal radiation, you can give as a keyword, and you can give evacuated tube as a keyword. Okay, so this type of keyword you can define. Okay, see, sometimes the collection of keywords may be a representation of your research title. Okay, so that if it luckily lies, that will be very useful, right? Okay, so the next I have given experimental and numerical analysis of additively manufactured stainless steel. Okay, so this is title. Okay. So you can see stainless steel maybe an experimental, maybe a keyword. Additive manufacturing may be a keyword. Okay, so numerical analysis may be a keyword. Okay, so like that, the keywords should be XQB defined. Okay, so so most of the journals may require minimum 5 keywords. Okay, so you have carefully choose the keyword, and the keyword what you are using should have been used in your manuscripts. Okay, so you have to ensure once again. Okay, you should not give the words which is not used in the manuscript. So okay, that is not fair enough to go for publications. Then how should be the introduction? Okay, so introduction should be a brief conducted to the researchers. Okay, so introduction, what you should have done. So you should have give some introduction about the materials, introduction about the process what you use, and what are the earliest works they have published in the research articles, and then so how your work is novel from others' works. Okay, so that entire thing can be given the research works. Okay, so research works, what should be given? You can introduce the material what you're using. You can introduce your process what you're using. You can introduce the research works what are available in the literatures. Then you have to introduce with your problem statement. Okay, so you have done experimental, you have done a very good literature review. From the literature you might have found out some problems. Okay, so that problem statement should be defined in the literature in the introduction part. Then how you are going to find the solution for the problem, that should also be given in the introduction. Okay, introduction. Okay, so this should be properly written, and you should have a great care in writing the introduction. Okay, and also you can write like this. So I have an extensive literature review has been carried out in the so and so manner, and it is found that not much more work have been carried out in the particular so and so. Hence, an initiative is taken through this research work to find out the so and so parameter for this so and so material. So okay, you can conclude like this. Okay, see, two things we should understand. The abstract should also have a very good concluding remarks. Okay, we're writing abstract. The abstract should have very good concluding remarks, as like the introduction should also have very good conclusion remarks. How the concluding remarks in the introduction, and how should be the concluding remarks in the abstract? In the concluding remarks in the abstract should say that how this work will be useful to the researchers and the research community. So that has been put at the end of an abstract. Okay, but whereas in the introduction, how should be the concluding statement? In the concluding statement, how you are going to proceed the work. So that should be given, should have been given in the introduction. Okay. Then materials and methods. As I said, in the materials and methods, what is the candidate material you have chosen, and what is the chemical properties of the thermochemical properties of the material. So what you are going to what is available in the already published work or something else. Okay, so you should not propose the chemical property of the material. Okay, so either should have been published in the early research, or you should have done some characterization to understand the chemical properties of the material, and you should publish. Okay, you should not write on your own about the chemical properties, or when you take some material, say titanium 6Al4U material, so this percent of titanium, this percent of the aluminum, this percent of vanadium, this percent of oxygen, this percent of iron. So okay, you should not wrongly write what you think in your mind. Okay, you should either refer an article, a earlier published article, and you should compare the results with the with the characterization what you have given, what you have found. Okay, so by ensuring that you should give the chemical analysis of your particular material in a tabular form. You should give like that. Okay, and you should not describe the previous published procedures. Okay, so they have followed this procedure and I am following this procedure. You should not say like that. So what you are following, that should only be given in the methods. Okay, and if something is carried out on human beings or animals, you should have properly obtained the proper permission from the concerned authorities. Okay, so that should be carefully done. Okay, so in material methods, what should you do? What is the material you use briefly? Okay, so in the introduction, you should only use the material. So I have used titanium materials, and titanium materials are highly applicable in aerospace, marine, automobile, like that you should introduce. But whereas in the materials and methods section, you should use, we have chosen the titanium material has been chosen as the candidate material for carrying out the particular experiments, and chemical properties of the materials has been given as X. So like that you go right. Okay, so don't write the application of the material in the materials under the material method section. Okay, under the material, the application should only be given in the introduction part. Don't write here. Okay, and suppose you are using some cutting process, and then what are the cutting parameters what you have used, what is the machinery you use, you can give some experimental image. Okay, so while cutting or while conducting some experiments, so what you have carried out, so that can be given as image, because image will speak a lot than the words. Okay, so that has to be properly given in the materials and methods. Okay, so please careful. So when we are doing the review of different articles, so we are finding a lot of mistakes in the way what they have written. So inappropriately the informations are given. So information, what should be given in the introduction is given in the methods, and what should be given in the methods are given in the introduction. Okay, so that should not be given like that. Okay, then how results should be written? Okay, so result and discussion is the heart of any research paper. Okay, so for the life of human being, how heart is very, very important. Like that, for the research paper, result and discussion is very, very important. It should be carefully written. It should be, don't think that all the things should be is being set as carefully written. So you should take great care in all the section of writing, but research and discussion, while writing research and great care should be given. Okay, so you should not give the wrong information. Okay, see, you should give the correct results. So you have conducted experiments, so you should have correctly observed, you should have correctly interpolated results in the result and discussion. Okay, so you should not give the unnecessary data. You should give the data what are required for the support of the particular research articles. That information should have been only given in the, or should be given in the results. You should not give the unnecessary data which are not at all highly essential for the support of research publication. You should not do that. Okay, and what you can do, you can group the similar results under one subheading. You can group the similar results. Okay, so how you can group the similar results? You can have mechanical characterization. Okay, under which you can bring tensile, bend, impact, like that you can bring, and you can give microstructural characterization. And under microstructural characterization, you can have optical microscopy, scanning electron microscopy, and so like that you can group the particular these things under a particular title. Okay, you should not write under mechanical characterization. You should not write optical microscopy. Okay, that is irrelevant. Okay, you should carefully write. Then it should be readily understandable by the researchers. Okay, so for that you should not use the complicated language. So it should be readily understandable by the researchers. Then your important points or important findings should have been focused or highlighted. Okay, and also you can you can mention the unexpected findings, features of unexpected findings. Okay, so you might have conducted some experiments. Under the experiments, so you might have thought by imposing these parameters, this might have happened from the previous literatures, but unknowingly because of the environmental conditions, some wrong might have happened. So that also you can indicate. So during the preliminary studies of this so and so, this occurrence was found out. Okay, so if you give the information like this, then that will be very useful for the researchers. The researchers may not go for trying that with that type of parameters during his research works. Okay, so that should be clearly given. Okay, so see, resultant discussion, resultant results should be a statistical analysis. You should do more graphs. Okay, you should do more graphical representations. Okay, so illustration figures. Okay, so figures, graphs, and data analysis should have been given in the resultant analysis. Okay, result analysis. Okay, and you can write results then discussion, or you can write resultant discussion. Okay, so resultant discussion. Okay, in results, what you will do, simply you will say how you by conducting the experiments, what are the results you have obtained. So that will be given. Okay, in discussion, why it is like that, why the variation is like that, and what is the reason for that. So that should be given. Okay, this is okay. And so see, when you are applying load on a particular material, when you are applying material, so the deformation is linear for some loads, and when load is increased, the deformation is non-linear. Why it is shifting from linear to non-linear? You should clearly define in that. Okay, so here you should discuss why the result happened, why it is occurring, how it is occurring, what for it is occurring. Okay, so you should arise these questions and you should give like that. Okay, what is what? It should be able to answer what is what, why it is like that. Okay, so you should not write like that. So okay, so when I increase the parameter from 50 ampere to 60 amperes, the weld bead is increasing. Simply, you should not write like that. Why it is increasing? What is the reason behind that? Should have been given the discussion. Okay. So conclusion. How the conclusion should be given? So conclusion, it should be very clear as other section stands. Okay. Here, so, see, introduction you can cite the research works. Introduction, you can cite the research works. Okay, so early research works you can, because some of the things, if you are saying the titanium material is being used in the aerospace industry, chemical industry, marine application, automotive application, since you have studied from somewhere, or you have heard from somewhere, you are saying, but properly the work should be cited. Where the data has been taken, you should cite. Okay, the introduction you can give more citation. Industry give more citation. Then material methods and resultant discussion, you should not do citation. Okay, you should not use the other works. Okay, and see, when you are using the other works, like to validate when you are only concentrating the numerical studies, and you need to compare, you need to validate the results. Then someone might have done the experiments. Then you take the results. You can take the results with proper preparation and you can compare. But mostly try to avoid the citation in the materials and method resultant discussion. Okay, introduction you can do lot of citation. You can do enough citation. Okay, and in the conclusion, you should clearly explain how your work advances the present state of knowledge. Okay, so how they from the present study, what enhancement you have done in your research works, and how the results are being varying between the other researchers and you. So that has to be clearly concluded in your research works. Okay, so you should understand the resultant discussion and the difference between resultant discussion and conclusion. Okay, okay. So conclusion, you are giving the concluding remarks for all. So particular experiments, what you found out. So by conducting tensile tests, what you have obtained. Impact test, what you have obtained. From the scan image, what you have obtained. So that has to be clearly concluded. Here you should not write story in that. Okay, so mostly in the conclusion you can write point by points. Okay, so whatever, how you can, so some people are straight away writing point by points. So that should not be like that. Okay, okay. See how we can write. So under conclusion, you can give some little introduction. So how you can write, and so experimental work has been carried out on the source of material using this material processing. And numerical analysis has been used to validate the particular research, and it is found that the following conclusions are being drawn from the research works. So you should write some introduction for the particular section, then you can write point by point. Okay, and also I am finding lot of research articles when we go for review. So they will go introduction. Then immediate next to the introduction, they will write materials and methods, or they will write something. Okay, okay. So you should introduce the section. Okay, and immediately you should not introduce a subsection. Okay, see, as I said, mechanical characterization. You are writing mechanical characterization. Okay, and after that mechanical characterization, don't write tensile tests. Okay, mechanical. If you are making heading number 4, mechanical characterization, immediately don't write 4.1. Okay, tensile tests or tensile behavior. Don't write like that. Under mechanical characterization, why the mechanical characterization is very much important. Okay, so the mechanical characterizations are very much important to assess the mechanical behavior of materials. So these are the mechanical characterization are being available in the literature to assess the mechanical behavior of materials. Since this application is being chosen, so these are the following characterization methods are being chosen for the research works. So like that, you introduce something, then you start the tensile behavior, then bend behavior. You start like that. Don't write mechanical behavior writing, then immediately put 4.1 subheadings. Okay, so it will irritate the reviewers. It will irritate the reviewers. Okay, so you don't like that. So what we expect from the students. Okay, so that should say many things to you. Okay, and figures and tables. Okay, so you should avoid the grounded plots. Okay, so the figures should be very neat. Okay, it should be readily readable. Okay, and the label size should be very proper. Okay, it should not be boring. The figure, so it should not irritate the viewers. It should not irritate the readers. Okay, so or it should not irritate the editor or the reviewer. Okay, so you should carefully bring the bigger and tables. Okay. And reference. Okay, so you should not use too many reference. Okay, too many reference you should not use, and don't cite any paper, or don't bring under reference any paper. Don't bring any papers under reference which has not supported your research. Okay, so you should follow ethics, and what are the reference which are highly useful for the support of your research work. That reference can be brought under the reference sections. Okay, so you should avoid excessive self-citation. Okay, don't use self-citation. So okay, so if some of the papers certainly some of your papers might be very useful for the support of the particular research works. That time you can do it, but don't use. So minimum you can go for 3 to 5. Okay, you can go for 3 to 5 of your citation, which if only they are highly supportive for your research works. Okay, so you cannot use your institute citation. Okay, so that also you see if if the paper published from institute is only 3 or 5 are very highly supportive, you may have 10 articles which may which might have been published in your research works in your research institute or in your institute or from your own paper. Okay, from your own paper, but among which you give the priority and choose top 3 or 5 which are highly supportive of your research. Yes. Any disturbance?
No, sir. No, sir. Proceed, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so you have to prioritize the literature. Okay, then you should add the reference. Okay, so as like someone is saying, you include my paper, so don't include. Okay, so you should follow ethics. But if you are getting the matters, if it is very supportive, then you should do that. There is no no need of denying. Okay, then how should be the language? How should be the language? Okay, so you should use a proper language that should be readily understandable by the researchers. Okay, so don't use with incorrect sentence, incorrect verbs, incorrect grammar, and don't use inconsistent use of English language. Okay, and mostly the report should be in a passive voice. Okay, try to avoid using active voice sentences. Okay, so don't use active voice sentences. Use passive voice sentences. Okay, so like we might have studied in the school days, so how the active voice and passive voice have been. Rama killed Ravana. Ravana was killed by Rama. Okay, so while using report or any books, whatever it may be, you should use passive voice. Okay, so don't use active voice sentences in reporting your research works. Okay, your sentences should be very short and direct sentence. Okay, so it should be like a very lengthy one, and you should not convey. Don't write like a sentence which may not be conveying much more information. Okay, it should be very short and should be information. Okay, so you should improve the English language properly. Okay, so some of the standard journals are having some helplines for improving English language on payment basis, but you can go for that, and or you can approach the researchers or seniors who might have published so many works. Then that will enhance your research articles in terms of language and in terms of technical also. Okay, so what will be the difference between thesis and review article? Thesis and article. Okay, so thesis will meet your academic requirements. Okay, so it will not have any basic constraints. Okay, it will not have any basic constraints. So it might have contained a lot of chapters as prescribed by the university, whereas article has page constraints, and you should follow the author guidelines given by the article. Okay, so in thesis you have to follow the guidelines given by the university. In article you have to follow the guidelines given by the university. In thesis will contain chapters. An article will contain different sections. Okay, and so it will be thesis will be very lengthy one, and the articles may not be very lengthy as like thesis lies. Okay. So here in thesis, all findings should have been presented, and all will presented in the form of chapters. Whereas in the article, you do not need to present all the results. Okay, what are the essential results that might be presented in the article? Okay, so this is very lengthy. This is not lengthy. Okay, and thesis will be reviewed by the committee members, that doctoral committee members and the expert members. Okay, but this will be reviewed by the reviewers. So these are the difference between the thesis and articles. Okay. How to select a journal? Okay. So you have to consider who will be the audience for your researchers. Who will be the audience, and what is the work? Okay, so based upon that, you have to choose the journals. Okay, you should clearly look into the aims and scope of the journal. Okay, so see, so you might have worked in manufacturing process. Okay, you might have done something on finding out the process parameters during a cutting of a particular manufacturing process. So don't choose that Journal of Image Processing to publish your work. Okay, the Journal of Artificial Intelligence to publish your work. So you can choose the journals which are very related to the manufacturing technology or related to the optimization. Okay, so now see, nowadays everything is carefully watched. Okay, see, if when your content is published in inappropriate journals, so that will raise different questions on you. Okay, so clearly you have to choose the journal, and you have to follow properly the other guidelines to properly format your journal. Okay, so peer review process. So your journal, your submitted journal will be going through the peer review process by minimum three or two, minimum 2 or 3
Sir,
experts.
Dinakaran, sir.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir. We will have another webinar at 12 o'clock, sir. Please conclude, sir. Quickly, sir. Please, sir.
How much time I can take? 10 minutes? Shall I take 10 minutes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 10 minutes, sir.
I will make it. I will make it.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Oh, no, it's sorry. Okay. So you have to. It will be followed by the different reviewers, and first your submitted article will go to the review editor when you submit it to the journals. Then the editor will assign the associate editors. Okay. So before editors, it will go for the admin to process. The admin will check the plagiarism, and plagiarism report and your paper will be submitted to the editor, and the editor will see the novelty of your work and whether there is a within the plagiarism level or not. So if it is there and appropriate to the journal, then he will assign the associate editor. Then associate editor will assign the reviewers. Then the reviewers will review the articles and will submit the report to the associate editors. Then associate editor will review the review report, and if any review is needed, then he will send back to the authors. Then upon correction of this submission again to the associated journal, it will be sent to the associate editors. The associate will see whether they correctly attest or not. Then the associate will himself can take a decision to accept or reject the manuscript. So, or if he requires, then he will again forward the manuscript to the reviewers. Then he will collect the review reports. Then he will submit your recommendation to the editor. Then the editor will finally decide whether your report or your manuscript should be accepted or not. Okay. So as I said, originality, novelty will be verified during the publication, during your submission of the manuscript, and citation should be properly. You have to give the credit to the, as I said, whenever you are reviewing, when you are referring the paper, the citation should be properly given. Okay, so without you should always follow ethics during research publication. And plagiarism. Okay, so plagiarism is a serious business now. In our government of India also is taking serious effort and through the AICT and UGC. So you should not copy any content. You should, without permission of others' works. Okay, you should not copy any data, words, or ideas or concepts. If it is seen, if it is found out seriously, it will be you need to undergo legal actions. You will undergo legal action. So you should not do any plagiarism. Plagiarism is copying of the other contents. It is called plagiarism. So plagiarism may be of 6 types: global plagiarism, paraphrasing plagiarism, verbatim, mosaic plagiarism, self-plagiarism, and incorrect plagiarism. Okay, so the global and paraphrasing plagiarism are very serious business along with the verbatim plagiarism. So it's very, very serious. Okay, so self-plagiarism. So you should carefully. You should not do your entire work, and you should not. You might have published work in the other journals, and don't do copying all the contents to and publish in other works. And incorrect citation, you should give citation to the journals what you are following, what you are referring. Okay. and how to paraphrasing the particular sentence. Okay, so citation you should carefully given, should give carefully, and see, we observe statistically significant improvement in students' grades as the percentage of cancelled classes increased in all three controlled studies. Okay, so this is a sentence you are seeing in a particular journal. Okay, so if you want to report, if you want to write in your work, then what you can write, like this: a study done by Per et al. Showed that, see, the cancelling classes improve the standard grades. Okay, you have to repeat like this. Okay, you have to paraphrase like this. Okay, so don't copy the sentence entirely into your these things and don't write like it. And under reference, you should add like this, the standard format. Okay, or standard format asked by the particular journal. Okay, similarity and tool is being checked by Turnitin or Authenticate. So these are the mostly used software to go to check your plagiarism. Okay, so you Turnitin or Authenticate. Okay, these are the under this among these two. Turnitin is the first top priority. Then Turnitin will come, even though both are from the same product holder. Turnitin stands first. Then Authenticate stands first, then Turnitin seconds, 10 seconds. Okay, so yeah, we have Turnitin Authenticate software. If time permits, I will show the menu. In Senior Technology, we have Authenticate. And okay, so writing reference. So don't write reference as it is in the given the journal. So you go to the proper format as like the journal records. Okay, so you have to obtain permissions from the original publisher. So if you are copying anything from that, you have to take the proper permission from the publishers. So for example, your figure, when permissions are not required, if you use your own figure, you do not need to your own figure or unpublished work, you do not need to get a permission from anyone. But if you are reprinting published figure in a modified form, you do not need to get permission. So like, see how this so I want to show you. I show you how this will be, and then if you want to replatter the graph of the data supplied, then published source, then citation is not required. The citation is not required. Okay, so I show the these things. Okay, see this. So this is a figure published in one journal. Okay, is a figure. See this figure, and now someone is modifying like this. So if he modifies like this, he does not need to get permission from any publishers. Simply he has to include like this. Okay, so he has to cite this. Okay, he has to cite this adapter from the so and so journal and so on from the publishers. You have to do like this. Okay, you have to give citation like this. Okay, and see, and graph. So as I said, graph you are using graph, and if it is replatted from someone, if it is replatted from someone, see, Krishnamurthy et al. Okay, from you have taken this particular these things from one researchers. Then he is from Krishnamurthy, one person. From that you have taken this data. Then what you have to do, you have to cite like this. You have to. So how you have taken. Okay, so you have to cite the Krishnamurthy et al. So you have to properly cite. Okay, so in these two cases, you do not need to get permission from others. But when you reprint the published figure, so you need to get proper permission. And if you reprint the figure with proper minor modification, you need to get permission. Okay, so I want to so a lot of thing is there, but because of time, I am going to freeze it. Okay, so how I want to show this one, how reprint the figure. Okay. Okay. So I wanted to talk about H index and how to find out the duplication of journals and how to get the idea of indexing. So because of the time constraints, so I am finishing here. So any questions you can ask me the content. So these are the websites I have referred to bring out my lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Participants, you may please ask the queries to the resource person now. Session is open to. Any questions from the participants? Otherwise, you may post a question to the chat box also.
So please you can ask your queries in terms of applications and research.
Sir, we are having a question in the chat box, sir. Sir, shall we cite publication in the discussion step itself like that?
Yeah, so see discussions. So as I said, so if it is highly needed, you can go for citing the your any articles in the discussion. Unless it is needed, please don't do that. So see, mostly you can do the citation in the introduction, mostly, and sometimes in the conclusion. Okay, and but if you give only in the introduction, citation given introduction, that is well and good. But when you are copying a figure, you have to do citation. But in discussion, try to avoid citation. Okay, if it is highly needed, you can include. It's not wrong, but try to avoid.
Sir, this is from Masood Reddy, sir.
Please, sir.
Sir, this is from Masood Reddy, sir.
Yeah, please, you can proceed, sir.
Sir, most of the papers in discussion forum, they mentioned the citations, sir.
Yeah.
So that's why I have asked that question, sir.
Yeah. As I said, see, discussion. So, suppose as I said, so you are conducting numerical analysis. Okay. And you do not have facilities in India to carry out some particular work. Okay. But the experimentation facility might be available in the developed countries. Okay. So there might have conducted experimentation. Okay. Then you can refer the experimental work. And you can say, so I have got the numerical simulation result like this, but the experimental work, I referred these articles, and he has brought out like this. Since the experimental facility is not available with us in India, in our country, so I have referred this journal article, and I have compared this. I think that you can give in the discussion. There is nothing wrong.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And one more question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, how we decide the journal, sir?
Yeah. So journals, you can decide. You based on the abstract and title, you can go for journal finders. Elsewhere, Springer, Wiley, Taylor and Francis. In all the journals, they have titled something called journal finders. Okay, you will be able to find the abstract and the journal title. Okay. So upon that, you will be shown lists of journals in which how you have to choose is. You have to choose the aim and scope of the particular journal, because it is being shown by the by the articles as software automatically. But you have to choose. You have to once again go through the listed journals, and you have to see what is the journal, which is the journal having high acceptance rate. Okay, like that journal you have to choose and you will submit. Okay, and for time to first decision. Okay, so like that journal you have to choose. And impact factor. Okay, so if you are feeling your journalist, you have written very well, your article is very novel, then you have to go for high impact factor journals. Okay, so the journal which are having impact factor is called as Science Citation Index journals. Okay, SCAE journals. Okay, the journals under Web of Science, Clarivate Analytics is the agency who is maintaining the Web of Science database. Under Web of Science database, there are lots of databases, sub-databases. Okay, and Science Citation Index expanded, Social Science Index, then Emerging Source Citation Index, CPCA, Conference Proceeding Citation Index, Conference Proceeding Citation Index, Science and Arts and Humanities. There are a lot of indexing. Under Web of Science, the journals which are having impact factor are called SCI journals. Okay, so SCI journals are having top priorities. Okay, so SCI journals are highly preferred by the researchers. Okay, so if some journals are having impact factor, that are called SCI journals. Okay, we have to clearly then. Okay, then another one indexing is Scopus. Okay, Scopus journals will not have impact factor. Scopus journal, but that will have site score. Okay, if some journal is mentioning that they are having site score, then that is index in Scopus. If some journals are mentioning that they are having impact factor, then they are what we call this one Web of Science. And also you should look into that. The impact factor is JCR, Journal Citation Report Impact Factor. Okay, now lot of people are giving impact factors, but don't believe that. And still now I am able to see lot of journals are maintaining they are having impact factors, impact factor 2.4, 3.4. But when you look into that, journal may not be in the Web of Science. Okay, so don't believe the journal website. Okay, I want to show you a practical demo, but that will go for another half an hour. But not to because of time, I am skipping that. Okay, don't believe the journal website alone. You take the journal name and go for Clarivate Analytics. Search in Google Clarivate Analytics. Then you will be able to find whether the journal is in Web of Science or not. You can have the updation. Okay, so correctly you have to do that. Okay, right. Any doubt, please?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, this is Nagarajan, sir.
Yeah, please, sir. Please.
For literature survey, how many years we take, sir? Is there any
See, sir, first you have to take the recent years, sir. Recent years you will take. You take, now you are writing the review now from the 2021. You can go up to, minimum you can go to 5 years. Okay, but that is based on availability of the articles. Okay, if you are able to get the enough articles in the last 3 years, then you can limit to 3 years. But still, if you are not getting the articles, then you can go for another extra 2 years. So like that you can choose.
Okay.
But minimum 100 articles should be for a review article.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hello,
Yeah, please.
sir, I'm Caroline. So regarding this data
Yes, ma'am.
preparation, graphs and all, when we want to prepare in like
Yes,
Tableau, see, we have some limited experience.
Yes, ma'am.
Instead of wasting our time, can we have some like contacts who can give us, we can advise them how to prepare, but we will be having like, we don't want to wasting time in that.
Ma'am, data preparation, at the end of the day, end of the research, our output is only figures and tables. So table, what you can do, some of softwares are available for preparing plots and graphs like Origin. Lot of softwares are available, but you can simply use, because we have some consent on licenses. You can use what we call Excel itself. Excel is a beautiful software to bring out results or bring out graph beautifully. And and also your figures on plots should be very catchy one. Okay, it should readily attract others by seeing the image. The reader and the editor should think that. So it is very good. We should accept the articles. So like that way you can use. And also I wanted to show the demo, right? So while writing the review articles, or writing any comparison articles, you can use the figures and graphs which have been published by other researchers. You can copy that. Provided you have to give the permission from them. And getting permission is easy. But if anybody wants personally, I have given my contact in the introduction, firstly itself. You can approach me how to get the permission and how to choose the journals. You can approach me personally. Yes, ma'am. Have a clear doubt, ma'am?
Yeah. No. When we have large data, sir, okay. Then
Yeah,
we have
okay. I understand.
Yeah.
See, when you have large data and you have large parameters, you should only give importance to the parameters which are highly affecting the performance of the particular research. Okay. So, for example, we are riding on road. We are riding on road. Okay, in a two-wheeler. Okay, so in two-wheeler, while going, there will be airflow. Okay, the roads are surface irregularities. Okay, and you'll be able to meet the speed breakers. Okay, so these are the important parameters which may affect the ability to reach a destination, and the effect of vibration on your body. Okay, so these are the prime parameters you have to list it. You may have 10 or 12 parameters, 15 parameters. From that, now you can use the recent articles are available on data mining or data analytics. So the data analytics techniques can also be used to get the behavior or parameters which are highly affecting the particular outcome. This one thing. Or you can go for optimization. In the optimization, so you may have 5 parameters. The 5 parameters, what are the 3 parameters which are highly effective? So that also can be chosen in optimization. There are a lot of optimization techniques. Okay, so 2 things you can go for choosing correct data. You can go for data analytics or you can go for optimization. Ma'am, still I want to be, I want to specific. Okay, thank you.
No, it's understood. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any
Sir,
other
this is
questions?
Mohan.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Please.
Sir, this is Mohan Kumar from Bangalore.
Please, sir.
So, what is the minimum number of references can you cite in a journal paper?
For original research article, there is no limit, sir. Even you have 5, 3, there is no limit for original research article. Okay, you can have it need not to have much more reference. Don't need to have 10, 20, 15. It's not like that. Okay, so you see, when you are doing research on a new field, so research article might not be available. So you can have 5 or 7. That is enough. Okay, so no need to worry about this for original research article. You should only worry about the number of references when you go for review article.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And you have given very good insight how to publish a paper.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Very good
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
presentation related to research and publication.
Any questions from the participants?
Very nice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Participants, please fill the feedback. It is provided in the chat box. Now, it is my duty to deliver the vote of thanks. So, good morning, everyone. I'm honored and lucky to have the opportunity to give you a vote of thanks on the special day. So, good things came to an end in life, so is the webinar. Gratitude makes sense of your past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. On behalf of Nehru Institute of Technology, I take this opportunity to thank everyone who was directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar on research publication Things to be Known, organized by our Agriculture Engineering Department. At the outset, I thank our chief guest and resource person, Dr. V. Dinagaran, Dean, Research and Development, Professor, Mechanical Engineering, Chennai Institute of Technology, Kudrattu. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. It gave deep insights into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We are thankful to our Honorable CEO and Secretary, Dr. P. Krishna Kumar, sir, for providing this opportunity to conduct an online webinar. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our Principal, Dr. M. Sivaraja, for his continuous and enthusiastic support. Thank you, sir. And also, extend my thanks to our Dean Academic Affairs for their guidance and motivation. Thank you, sir. And also, extend my thanks to our HOD, Ms. Gulja S. Nair, for rendering all the supports for the webinar a grand success. Thank you, ma'am. A special thanks to the organizing committee, teaching and non-teaching staff for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to our students, faculty members, and other faculty members, research scholars for active participation. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to the ends of today's webinar. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Sir, some of them have asked my contact.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please note down my WhatsApp number, 99416 17332. 99416 17332 is my WhatsApp number, and also I am available Dinakaran V, DHINAKARANV at c8chennai.net. Okay, I'm available. So, or simply, if you search in Google Dinakaran Veeman, so you'll be able to get my contacts. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you
wonderful
so much,
webinar, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for the opportunity, Kulja, madam. Thank you.
Yeah, it was very nice, sir.
Thank you
Nice.
very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடுவோம். அந்த வெபினார் வந்துடுறேன். ஓகே.
அப்படி இருக்கு.
Hello, sir. Hello. Sir, feedback form இருக்கா சார்? ஃபீட்பேக் எப்படி?
இருக்கும் சார்.
Chat பாக்ஸ் இதுல போறீங்களா சார்? குரூப் அந்த இதுல போறீங்களா சார்?
Now you
chat
can
box
see.
ல இருக்கு சார்.
Yeah, so it is in chat box. Feedback form is not working. Yeah.
Chat
If
box
it is not working, you
coming,
can give another.
it is not there, sir. Hello.
Sorry, sir. Hello.
Sir, yes, sir. It's not found in chat box, sir. It's coming right now. Not working. எதுவும் வேலை செய்ய முடியல.
மோடம் சுத்தமா வேலை செய்யும். இந்த லிங்க் நான் வெளியே வச்சுக்கலாம்.
ஆமாங்க சார். ஃபீட்பேக் ஒர்க் பண்ணல சார். ஹலோ.
Okay, sir. I think more than so you can drop your mail ID. Or you can send a text message to this one so that we will get the certificate to you.
Sir, the link is not working, sir.
Let me give the mail ID to you, sir. nitagree@gmail.com. Okay, you just to this. Your just get test mail to this one. We will get you the thing, sir.
You have to send a mail, na? Hello.
Yeah, you can send the mail. Okay.
Shall I send a mail to you?
nitagree@hod@gmail.com.
We have to send a mail. Posting our link, feedback link.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
நல்லா இருந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் ஒன்று அட்டன் பண்ணி கிளியர் ஆகுது. வெளியே இப்போ நெட்ஒர்க்கு பயங்கர ஒஸ்டாச்சு. எல்லாமே நெட்ஒர்க் தான் வேணும் போகுது. எல்லாருக்குமே வந்து குறைஞ்சது ஒரு நாளைக்கு 5 GB 4 GB ஒரு டேக்கு ஒரு 5 GB வேணும். வெளியே போச்சு. என்ன சார் ஜாம் இது என்னது ஜாம் போர்டுன்னு வச்சுக்கலாம்.
ஜாம் போர்டுனா கூகுள் போர்டு மாதிரி.
அதுதான் கொடுக்குறாங்கல்ல சார், இது பண்ணுறாங்க. அதுதான் ஃபீட்பேக் எல்லாம் பண்ணுறாங்க.
அதுல என்ன நோட் பேட் மாதிரி வரைய முடியும்.
ஏன் அது இருந்தது
மீட்டிங் அப்படியே போயிடுச்சு.
அதை கிளிக் பண்ணி ஜாயின் பண்ணிக்கிறாங்க. அதில் உள்ள போயிட்டு
அந்த லிங்க் எடுத்துட்டீங்களா?
ஜாம் போர்டு
உங்ககிட்ட இருந்து இப்பெல்லாம் எடுக்க கூடாது. அதை வச்சு என்ன பண்றது?
மயில் அடிக்க என்ஐடி அக்ரி ஹெச்ஓடி@gmail.com மெயில் அனுப்புகிறேன். அதில் இதுக்கு போட்டால் ஜாம் போர்டு ஓப்பன்